Now on a special edition of KGW News, tens of thousands without power following powerful wind. What to know during this weather impact alert. Plus, from the ongoing shutdown to the possible deployment of troops, what some community leaders have to say about the current state of the federal government.
So we need those federal dollars to come in to help our small business people.
And another step towards recovery 5 years after the devastating Labor Day wildfires.
This is probably not the last fire we're going to see. Unfortunately, it's probably not the last fire to be caused by utility.
And thanks so much for joining us on this special edition of KGW News. I'm John Adams. Our top story tonight is weather, with the ongoing system bringing rain and heavy wind to the metro and the valley, leaving tens of thousands without power. We're going to get to that in a minute, but first, here's a live look at conditions over the Rose City right now. Our weather impact alert is going to continue for the rest of the evening with more chances of wind and rain. Let's check in with meteorologist Joe Ranieri with those details. Hey, Joe.
Hey there, Johnny. We could also see some thunderstorms develop as well. So here's a look at our weather impact headlines. It's going to be wet with a lot of mountain snow later on tonight and into tomorrow. So very windy tonight. We've been seeing gusts at times anywhere from 30 to 40 miles an hour throughout parts of the metro area. We have been seeing some thunderstorms at times as well. Heavy snow in the Cascades. Yeah, get this, anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of new snow overnight, 3,500 feet and higher. Then tomorrow we'll kind of transition into more just some scattered showers, some sun breaks, but not as blustery. So here's a look at when the impact will be wrapping up. It's going to be in, basically through the evening. Very windy with gusts up to about 40 miles an hour at times throughout the valley. And rainfall amounts have been relatively impressive, just over 1/4 of an inch over in Hillsborough, about 1/3 of an inch over in McMinnville. Now along the Oregon coast, Hoquiam there along the Washington coast, closing in on close to an inch of rain. I bet you by the end of the night, by midnight, we will be close to that 1 inch in a few locations. So as we bring in Futurecast tomorrow, we'll continue to see showers roll through. Another round will be just a couple hours away. Heavy at times, a steady stream of rain to start things off for the first part of your Sunday, and then we'll transition to more scattered showers here and there. So here's a look at the satellite and radar. You can kind of see that mountain snow that's been piling up. Last check, about 5 to 7 inches of snow has fallen throughout the Oregon Cascades, at least outside this ski resort. So we'll be looking at rain from tonight all the way into the early part of tomorrow afternoon. We also have that high wind warning along the Oregon coast, wind advisory throughout the metro area, and there's also a winter weather advisory throughout the Oregon Cascades, 3,500 feet and higher until early Monday morning. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll see you soon. Well, back to the outages, with Pacific Power saying tonight they have more than 200 crew out working. As of last check, there were more than 10,000 PGE and Pacific Power customers that were still without power, most of them either in Marion County or south of Salem. At its peak around 2:45 this afternoon, nearly 40,000 customers had lost power. Corbett Fire District 14 also reported down power lines in their area. Just before 7, crews shut down Southeast Gordon Creek Road from Trout Creek Road to the county line so they could restore power there. And check out this video and the pictures shared on social media by the Longview Fire Department. They say they've responded to multiple incidents over downed trees and power lines across town. In one instance, a large tree fell on a home. No one was hurt. Well, new tonight, Portland police are currently investigating a shooting that sent a man to the hospital. It happened around 5:45 this evening near the intersection of Southeast Division and 142nd. The victim's condition is not yet known at this time. PPB says the suspect or suspects left before they arrived. No one has been arrested. New tonight, the Gresham Police Department is investigating an early morning shooting that left one person hurt. It happened just before 3 in the parking lot of a strip club on Southeast Stark and 175th Place. By the time officers arrived, the suspect had left and the victim had gone to the hospital. This is the second shooting in the area in less than 2 weeks. And in Kaiser, police continue to investigate an incident where a person was shot in the chest during a robbery. Officers were called last night around 9:40 to McGee Court Northeast off of Country Glen Avenue. The victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Officers have not yet identified a suspect, and that investigation is ongoing. All Black leaders from the local level all the way to the federal level gathered in Portland earlier today to push back against the Trump administration's policies. Jake Holter was at that town hall and brings us those details.
The town hall covered everything from the ICE presence and the National Guard deployment to cuts to programs like SNAP, threatened by the government shutdown.
I heard the other day that Portland was burning. I want you to know that the message back to Washington, D.C. is that Portland is burning. We're burning with love. We're burning with compassion. We're burning with brotherhood. We're burning with sisterhood.
Black community leaders, troubled by recent events both here in Portland and nationally, invited folks to a town hall to hear from the community directly.
People all the time who are losing hope, who are feeling despair, who are already defeated in the onslaught which has just begun. So I'd like to hear from you ideas on how you and we can inspire one another to participate, to vote, to have a vision.
If your church is not sending kids to an apprentice program or sending them to college or helping them get through elementary school and telling them like word is bond that you can do it, if you're not doing that, you're not investing in hope.
Congresswoman Janelle Bynum, sworn in this year, is Oregon's first elected Black member of Congress.
We shouldn't normalize the chaos is the first thing that I would share with everyone. It is really important for us to stay grounded in the things that matter. It is important for us to all have housing. It is important for our kids to have opportunity, that they can look forward to being able to stay here, learn here, grow up here in Oregon. And we need to make sure that every American has access to health care. These are the things that are essential to living a full and prosperous life, and we can't let the president's actions deter us from staying focused on what's important.
And with the government still shut down, hundreds of thousands of Oregonians are at risk of losing their SNAP benefits.
We have the highest disparities on every level of education, health care, being able to have access to capital for jobs and businesses. And so we're going to get hit the worst.
Portland City Councilor Loretta Smith also with a message to the looming National Guard deployment.
We don't need them. We didn't ask for them. We are a peaceful protesting community.
A small number of protesters again gathering in South Waterfront Saturday afternoon.
We must resist injustice.
Dr. Leroy Haynes Jr. saying the protests are reminiscent of when he fought for civil rights back in the 1960s.
But the beauty of the similarity is that they are willing to resist the rise of authoritarianism.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
Well, that town hall happened as we continue to monitor the ICE facility in South Portland and the nightly protests that have been taking place outside the building. We saw a smaller crowd earlier today, and last night Portland police say they did not make any new arrests. Officers did not see any property crimes or suspicious activity. This as we stand by for the ruling over the possible deployment of National Guard troops to Portland. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has put its ruling, the one permitting troops, on hold while it determines whether a larger panel of judges should hear that case. Meanwhile, the original judge here in Portland, Judge Karen Immerget, is now also weighing whether to lift a second temporary restraining order. And while she indicated a decision by Monday, that could be pushed back given what's going on in the Ninth Circuit. Nearly 100 Oregon wineries that lost grapes and sales after the 2020 wildfires are about to recoup some of their losses. Attorneys for 93 wineries and vineyards say the energy giant PacifiCorp has agreed to a $125 million settlement. The group sued the company after they say smoke from the 2020 Labor Day fires tainted their grapes and damaged any subsequent wine. They blame PacifiCorp for not cutting power in time to prevent fires and smoke damage.
Some bottled and thought that the smoke was gone, and it came out later. And they actually, we had one winery had to write a check of some $700,000 to buy back wine that they had sold.
Attorney Robert Julian, who represented local wineries, says winemakers face damages ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars.
This is probably not the last fire we're going to see. Unfortunately, it's probably not the last fire to be caused by utility. Next time this happens, they can be very proactive at the beginning and get together to redress it.
The power provider released a statement saying PacifiCorp is glad to have this matter resolved and that they remain willing to settle all outstanding reasonable claims related to the Echo Mountain 242 and South Obenchain fires. but he said the company will continue to defend against claims relating to the Beachy Creek and Santiam Canyon fires.
Oh, it was a blast from the past in Eugene. Tie-dye type of vibe for the Grateful Ducks. 6th-ranked Oregon back at home to take on Wisconsin and honor legendary band Grateful Dead. Highlights are on the way, plus Art Edwards checks in live from Autzen Stadium to help us break it all down. That's coming up in sports.
All right, Orlando, thank you. Well, coming up, the Trump administration stepping up its trade feud with Canada, how an ad involving Ronald Reagan inspired that action. Plus, the Trailblazers in the headlines for the wrong reasons, how fans are showing their support after head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested on federal charges. Welcome back. Let's take a look at your headlines. The Pentagon is sending the Navy's largest aircraft carrier strike group towards the coast of Venezuela. The Trump administration has accused the Venezuelan leader of heading up a major cartel and facilitating the flow of drugs into the U.S. The Pentagon says 43 people were killed from at least 10 strikes on vessels they say were carrying drugs. The president is escalating his feud with Canada. He posted on social media that he's increasing the tariff on Canadian imports to the U.S. by another 10%. It's after Ontario's provincial government began running a TV ad featuring a 1987 radio address by President Reagan, edited to criticize Trump's trade policy. That prompted Trump to abruptly pull out of trade talks with Canada. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is appearing to keep her options open, suggesting that she might run for president again in the future. In a new interview, Harris says she is still keeping the door open for running for president again, telling the BBC she believes the U.S. would elect a woman leader in her young grandniece's lifetimes. Shockwaves continue to ripple through Rip City and the NBA. Last night, the Trailblazers had their first game under interim head coach Tiago Splitter after Chauncey Billups was federally indicted for wire fraud and money laundering. The NBA placed Billups on leave. With Golden State in town, it was always going to be a big game. Fans told our Catherine Cook with everything going on, it was important to show their support and even expressed excitement about a possible future without Billups.
It's only game 2 of the Blazers' regular season schedule, but who would have thought this game could have such season-ending overtones or give fans such a do-or-die drive?
We have to have their backs, stuff happens.
Or was that ride or die.
We love our Blazers, and so no matter what happens, we got to be here for them.
I'm here for the team, not a certain individual.
On Thursday, the NBA suspended Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups following his indictment on federal charges tying him to a rigged poker ring run by the mob.
I think Chauncey Billups is gone, and I can't think of him right now. I've got to think of the Blazers. I hope he has good family, good lawyers.
I've always been a huge Chauncey Billups fan. I used to love him in the Pistons, so it's just not great as a fan.
But what really hurts fans is a question. What if? What if Billups cost the team beyond what meets the eye? The federal indictment also implicates him on a sports betting scheme involving insider information. It notes an unnamed co-conspirator 8 who lives in Oregon and matches Billups' profile. That person, the indictment alleges, tipped off a gambling ring back in March of 2023, telling them the Blazers would rest key players for an upcoming game against the Bulls. The Blazers lost that game by 28 points, allowing bettors to win big.
It makes you wonder.
But what fans do know? They're just scratching the surface here on both a federal probe and a fledgling season.
We just got to push down. It's just like life, and you fight through it. It's go Rip City. I mean, it's what we're here for. We're the heart of it.
2 games down, 80 more to go. Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Billups' attorney has shared a statement denying those allegations. He said Billups would not jeopardize his Hall of Fame legacy, his reputation, and his freedom for anything, let alone a card game. Well, check this out. The morning rain didn't stop Portlanders from celebrating Halloween early at the Portland Saturday Market. On the South today, costumes, candy, and crafts took center stage this morning during the market's annual Eek-stravaganza. Families stopped by to make creepy crafts, trick or treat, and shop from business owners who are also dressed in costume, all while getting a jump on holiday shopping.
I'm always so excited when I see our vendors. Our vendors love being involved, whether it's passing out candy, donating. I had probably 50 vendors donate to the Boo Basket I was doing. A bunch of them today are dressed up. Even though it's rainy, they still came out in full force to do this event and support us all, which is super great.
The market teamed up with the Portland Pickles and the local nonprofit Reclaim to put on today's event. Organizers say the event drew more than 50 local vendors and dozens of community members. And Joe, you really have to tip your cap to folks that went out there because
it was nasty.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on what you're going to dress up for Halloween?
Oh, yeah.
I put you on the spot. We'll come back to that.
I usually decide about an hour before.
There you go.
Going out. Late minute.
At this point, I know it's
minute.
a bit, just under a week out. It will be a little bit on the wet side. We'll see how much as we get closer. But yeah, it's going to be. I can tell you, it shouldn't be as wet as we saw earlier today. But again, we saw some incredible amount of rain move through from last night and into right now. Temperature of 50 degrees. Believe it or not, downtown Portland, you're dry for the time being, but it won't be staying that long, dry that long, I should say, because overnight we'll see the wind pick up, gusts anywhere from 30 to 40 miles an hour. A chance not only see the showers roll in, but thunderstorms as well. I think the threat of thunderstorms is pretty much done, but we'll definitely be seeing those showers. Sunday is when a strong system moves in, and we're going to be looking at basically just a steady amount of rain from morning, afternoon, and the early part of the evening as well. A look ahead, the last week of October, it's going to be feeling like fall. I think we're done with temperatures right around 70 degrees, unfortunately. But yeah, this is that next low that's going to be moving on shore overnight. I'd say right around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning is when we're going to be seeing that rain really start to move through along the Oregon coast. So here we are. We're going to pick up some yellows and some oranges. Some of these could have some hail mixed in and some of those nocturnal thunderstorms rolling through. Well, not really nocturnal since it's going to be right around 6:30. Regardless, some early morning thunderstorms potential, and that could be the case through parts of the valley as well. Then by the early part of the afternoon, we'll dry out. But if you're traveling over the mountain passes, we talked about this weather impact alert throughout the Oregon Cascades as well. Heavy mountain snow level down to about 3,500 feet. And the winter weather advisory will be in place 3,500 feet and higher. Yeah, we've already seen about 8 inches of snow just today alone. Going into the overnight hours, there could be another 4 to 8 inches possible. So here we are by going ahead into Monday. We'll continue to see those scattered showers. By Tuesday, it's looking a little bit on the drier side. So basically, we're going to be looking at rain between now and 8 o'clock. o'clock tomorrow morning. In fact, we're going to extend that all the way into the mid-afternoon, maybe the early part of the evening, according to this model, about a 40% chance as we head into the later part of tomorrow night. As we look at the watches and warnings, that red color is a high wind warning along the Oregon coast. We're under a wind advisory for another couple of hours, and this white color is a winter weather advisory throughout the Oregon Cascade. So look how much snow could be popping up between tonight and the early part of tomorrow, anywhere from 3 to 4 inches. Yeah, we put this into motion. We'll be looking at close to 7, 8 inches by the end of tomorrow. The winds will start to dial down just a little bit, but regardless, it is going to be pretty wet here heading into tomorrow with a chance to see some thunderstorms roll in by the morning and into the afternoon hours as well. We've already seen basically what we should for this month in terms of rainfall amounts, just about close to 2.5 inches of rain. That's going to continue heading into the next couple of days. Next 5 days, we'll be looking at showers, good portion of tomorrow and into Monday as well before we start to see some drier conditions. We topped out only in the mid to the upper 50s, and yeah, it's going to be on the wet side heading into the next couple of days. So a chance for some thunderstorms tomorrow and into Monday as well. Mainly dry come Tuesday, and then looking into Friday for Halloween, John, expect to see some showers roll in by the later part of the afternoon and into the evening hours.
All right, always a forecast on Halloween. People are always paying attention to that. All right, Joe, thank you. Well, still to come, the Oregon Ducks take on Wisconsin in a rainy home game. Orlando and Art Edwards have the highlights next.
Fresh off a dominant bounce-back victory, the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks, massive favorites at home against Wisconsin. So who's feeling groovy? A blast from the past, Grateful Ducks and tie-dye vibes. Oh yeah, and that liquid sunshine in full effect. I thought they said it never rains in Autzen Stadium. It was a scoreless for nearly the entire first half. The Wisconsin D raining on Oregon's parade, applying pressure and sacking the QB. Dante Moore even took a shot to the face. He was bleeding, left the game in the third quarter. Sheldon High's Brock Thomas next man up. The rain coming down, so the Ducks relying on a steady dose of ground and pound. The freshman Jordan Davison scoring the first 2 TDs of the game, finishing with 102 yards rushing. Fourth quarter, and we've got a big man touchdown alert. Brock Thomas hits Janoris Wilson, the lineman getting down in the end zone. The offense limited, it was a grind, but the Ducks win 21-7, moving to 7-1 on the season, heading into the bye week.
It became really apparent early in this game what kind of game it was going to be, and we had to figure out a way that we could run the ball effectively. Really clear that it's going to be hard to be able to throw in some of those conditions. Saw some guys step up when their number was called. You know, I know Dante got dinged. Think he's going to be in great shape. Was probably in position that he could have gone in, but like for Brock to come in and perform the way he did, really excited, you know, for him.
rain or shine, there was a party in Eugene, and Art Edwards was there for all the festivities. Art, sounds like it was a good time, man.
Oh, Orlando, it was a great time here in Eugene, especially because they were able to get the victory. But beyond that, it was a lot of fun. It was a little bit different this game because there was a theme behind it. Grateful Ducks, a tribute to the Grateful Dead because they played at Autzen Stadium 10 times between 1974 and 1994. The fans, they had a great time. Oregon started this game in style. As usual, the Oregon Duck led the way, this time on the back of a tie-dyed VW Bug. The fans loved it. Everywhere you looked at Autzen Stadium, the fans proudly wore their tie-dye gear. From jackets to t-shirts, some of it homemade, all of it made with love, with the Grateful Dead in mind.
Well, we love the Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead is my favorite band, as many of us do like this. We're obviously Duck fans, lifelong, multi-generational. This is a cross collection of everything that we love, so our worlds have collided on this weekend.
Well, my wife is a pretty big Deadhead. She couldn't make it today, but, between my parents and my wife, just kind of fun to get in the spirit here. It's a very Eugene feel to it.
If you didn't come already dressed in tie-dye gear, no worries. The Duck store at the stadium fully stocked and ready to provide what the fans needed. We even found some Wisconsin fans who made the trip to the Northwest for the game.
When you guys announced that this was a tie-dye game, it became a no-brainer for us to bring our Grateful Red shirts out. Actually, my sister tie-dyed these 45 shirts.
Some of the fans could compare this game to a Grateful Dead concert they once attended.
Bigger and better than even what we see here, but yes, fantastic. The Grateful Dead is bigger than just a band, it's a community.
Not even the rain could dampen the spirits of the fans. While Oregon got off to a slow start, it was a great day to be at Autzen, and the fans enjoyed the Grateful Dead theme for the day.
I think the more they do this, the more they lean into it, the better turnout and the more excited all the fans really get.
All right, who knows? They might be doing this again because of the success. Ducks on the road next week at Iowa. We'll see how they do then.
Appreciate it, Art.
My favorite part of the day, all of the t-shirts, of course, great, sweatshirts, hoodies, everything. But the big man getting the touchdown and throwing down the TV dance in the end zone.
I know for a lot of people, they're loving that, and head coach Dan Lanning was like, I've seen him do that dance at practice.
When the guys that are usually on the line get a chance to score,
they have to overdo it.
Right? This is their one chance.
Yeah, they don't get a chance all that often.
All right, let's, people want to know the Halloween forecast.
It's going to be on the wet side, but I want to focus on tonight and, tomorrow. We're going to be under that weather impact alert, especially throughout the Oregon Cascades. That's the one place you're going to have to really pay attention to heading into the next 24 hours. Heavy snow, winter weather advisory in place until early Monday morning. They've already seen about 8 inches of snow today. They could be seeing another 4 to 8 overnight, and we'll talk more again at 11.